Phil, firstly, thanks for seeing us here today at BDL. Let's start this journey talking about this application here, because it's a pretty industrial part that you're making here on your Haas machines. What is it?
It's a nut splitter, it's called. So,
and what material is it, and what you're actually doing to it? What's the manufacturing process?
Okay, it's made from EN24T, and we turn them and then mill them, and then that makes the finished part.
So all of the milling operations is done here on your VF2, isn't it? I mean, it's quite a difficult application, this one. There's a lot of machining in this, correct?
There is, yeah. It's nearly hour and 3/4 worth of machining in the whole job. So yeah.
And just on the top part here, are you drilling that out?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, straight down with a U-drill and then a boring bar as well, boring head.
And is this VF2 dedicated to this particular application?
It is, yeah. It runs this type of job most of the time, 80% of the time.
Okay, so this is the first part of a series of parts that go together in one product. So let's move to the other machines and have a look at those. So moving round here, Phil, this machine is one of your first Haas machines you purchased, wasn't it? And can you pick this application up and just show us, and maybe show it to camera and tell us what you're actually doing with this on this Haas machine and what it is?
This is abrasive steel plate, and we're cutting out the profile and the round bores in the middle, all to size in one hit.
And it's all part of the same, when it all goes together, isn't it? It's the same family of products.
That's correct, yeah. Hydraulic tooling. So.
And quite hard to machine?
Yeah, very tough. Tough abrasive material, about 45 Rockwell. So, yeah.
And how are you? Is it a combination of good tooling and the machine that get you, what you need out of this?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the carbide tool cutters and the machine. So.
And then behind us here, this is quite neat here, because was this your first entry into 5-axis with Haas?
It was, yeah. The trunnion on a 3SS. So.
Yeah. Again, once again, difficult materials. Part of the same family of parts?
Yeah, same family of tooling. It's EN24T again, and finished complete off the 5-axis.
How did you first, with this being your first 5-axis machine, how did you find the movement into this type of machining?
Fairly smoothly. We got a lot of help from our CAD guys, and also a lot of help from Haas as well. So yeah, it was good.
Now I know that one's certainly an older machine, and this is not as old as that, but you've got some newer ones. So let's go and have a look at those in the turning cell. And it's quite evident you've got a really good mix of turning machines as well here from Haas, haven't you? This is your latest. What's this one?
It is, yeah. It's an ST15. It's a small footprint machine, but it can still take 2 inches up the bore.
You've got 2-inch bore capacity. Yeah. With this being one of the latest machines from Haas, do you notice any difference on the performance of the machines or the speed of the machines with the latest technology?
Yeah, it's a bit quicker, we find. So yeah, it helps to get the finish on the smaller parts that we do.
When I open the door on this machine, it becomes very evident to me that you're just turning. What's your beliefs on turning and doing milling on the same machine?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of doing both. I'd rather have 2 machines next to each other that are doing the same amount of work in half the time.
And this machine here was part of a 3-machine order, I believe?
It was, yeah. We had the UMC and the VF2 SS with a trunnion on it. So.
Right, let's look at some of the bigger Haas lathes. So you've got 2 ST35s. So we looked at the 15. You've also got 20s and 30s STs from Haas. Why the machines of this size?
Just for the bigger parts that we make, and it gets the stock off a lot quicker than the smaller ones.
This is an example of something you'll do here on these ST35s?
Yeah, it is. It's a stainless steel job. We turn it complete on these. So.
As a business, what's your mix on turning and milling, just out of interest?
Probably about half and half. But a lot of the stuff is turned and milled as well, so it's not just either or.
We've looked at turning. Now let's go and look at the rest of the milling shop, including your new 5-axis.
Okay.
So Phil, this has got to be one of the most exciting parts of the tour today. This is your brand new UMC 750. You bought this as part of a 3-machine package, didn't you, from Haas? Yeah, right. This is really sort of opened new markets for you, filled a gap in what you can do now, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. It's improved productivity.
What would you say about this UMC 5-axis? Because you do have other 5-axis machines from Haas with trunnion tables. What's the fundamental difference for you?
This one fits bigger tools on, and also it seems to be a little bit faster as well in its movements.
And this part here, tell us about this, how you're making it and how you were making it and what the improvements have been.
Yeah, this part we turn one end, drill some holes in it, then hold it, and we finish it completely on this 5-axis now. So it comes off complete. So from 4 or 5 operations down to 3, and it's half the time cycle.
So you've reduced the cycle time by 50%. What you got to make these parts correctly. What are you machining to here, Phil? What do you need to achieve?
Fairly tight tolerances, plus or minus 50 microns all over.
What do your operators think of this machine as well when it comes to the differences between the other Haas machines you've got? Has it given them a bit of a new lease of life, a bit of a challenge as well?
It definitely has, yeah. They're up for it though. They're rising to the challenge and getting on really well.
And what options did the machine come with, Phil?
It come with the tool probing, the swarf conveyor, the high-speed spindle, and the look-ahead machining.
When we talk to other engineers, some of the things they like about these machines as well, these UMC 750s, is the loading, getting into the machine, easy to set parts, the work shift element, also the visibility through the door. Are they things that you like as well as the fact it's in a pretty small footprint, isn't it?
Yeah, they're very, very good, user-friendly machine. All the guys are happy with it.
And going from programming a machine where you had a 2-axis table on a 3-axis to programming a machine on here, is it a big step? Is it a big leap, or is it straightforward?
It's not been too bad. We've had a lot of support from the guys at Haas and our CAD guys too.
And that leads me on to concluding this, Phil. Haas for you, is it 17 machines you got here?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, 17.
That's some level of commitment to a machine tool supplier that you've demonstrated. Why is that?
Basically, the service support that they've provided us with. We had something go wrong, and they were here the next day. The parts were on their van, and it was fixed. So.
And I suppose with the breadth of their range, there's not a lot they can't offer you, is there? We've seen today machining centres, turning centres, now 5-axis. You've got a complete Haas package here. It's almost like a Haas showroom in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting there, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks for your time today, Phil. Thank you.
Thank you.